As we mentioned, the Iowa caucus is just 1 week from Monday. It's the first nominating contest of the 2020 Democratic presidential primary. The latest CBS News Battleground Tracker poll shows Senator Bernie Sanders and former Vice President Joe Biden in a dead heat at the top. Pete Buttigieg and Senator Elizabeth Warren also surpassed the threshold needed to earn delegates. Rachel Stassen-Berger is the political editor for the Des Moines Register. She comes to us from Des Moines, Iowa. Rachel, thanks very much for being with us.
Absolutely happy to be here.
So our poll is one of a few that shows Sanders and Biden dueling for the top position in Iowa. Is that in line with what you're hearing on the ground?
What we're hearing a lot on the ground is that there's a lot of uncertainty about who to select. We've had our Iowa poll, which has a great and storied history, having actually Bernie Sanders at the top most recently, but also had Elizabeth Warren at the top and Buttigieg at the top and Biden at the top. And so we've seen a lot of shifting alliances going on. And so Iowans, it's really coming down to caucus night, and we see a lot of late deciders trying to make up their mind. You know, some have fallen in love with a candidate who is now dropped out, and so looking for a second person. And some are bopping back and forth among the candidates.
And so, in fact, to follow up on that point, our poll shows that less than half of any of the frontrunner supporters definitely made up their minds. So you cited some of the reasons a moment ago. Why are Iowa Democrats still making up their minds about the candidate that they're backing?
Well, one of the reasons is that, of course, Iowans do take their responsibility as Democrats here and the Republicans, when there's a Republican contest, very seriously. So they do go out to see all these candidates. You know, there's all these national stories with the brave the cold to go to see these candidates, cliche at the top of them. But frankly, that's what Iowans do. They want to see these candidates up close. They want to read their policy papers. They want to ask them questions. And so that kind of decision making, it just takes time.
Well, 3 of the 5 frontrunners in Iowa are U.S. senators. Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, and Amy Klobuchar. All are now back in Washington for the impeachment trial. What are their campaigns doing to keep supporters engaged while they're away from Iowa?
That's right. I mean, we've seen on all of their schedules, well, here's my event plans, but it might be canceled because of impeachment. So we're seeing the candidates themselves shift things around, but we're also seeing a lot more surrogates come. We've had a couple gold medalists coming to town. We've had actors, we've had singers. Elizabeth Warren sent her dog, Bailey. Bailey is now in Iowa right now and met an Iowa famous dog just today. So, you know, they're trying to keep that momentum up. And frankly, for caucuses, a lot of it is seeing those candidates who have been spending a lot of time here, but it's also the organizing that they've been doing. And those organizers don't stop just because the candidate can't be in town.
Well, your colleagues at the Des Moines Register wrote that there are 3 crucial counties to watch on caucus night: Clinton, Johnson, and Polk. What is it about those 3 counties that make them so important?
That's right. We've been following those 3 counties for more than 6 months to find out what they're thinking. Clinton County is sort of an industrial county, a very strong union town, and as you know, a lot of people have been keeping track of those folks because Clinton, like some other counties here, but also like the nation, those were Obama, Trump counties. And so they saw this movement towards Trump, and so Democrats are obviously fighting to win those people back. Then we have Johnson County. It's sort of known as the People's Republic because they are one of the most liberal places in Iowa. They have the University of Iowa there, so there's a big battle over the younger voters, the university voters there. And then in Polk County, which obviously has the capital city of Des Moines, where I am right now, it also has these growing suburbs. And suburban women, we saw in the 2018 election, really turned things around for Democrats. And so we've been watching that county and seeing how all these messages are playing out in these 3 all Iowa counties, but very different, that have lessons not only for caucus night, which will come on Monday, but frankly for November 2020.
Interesting. Well, on Saturday, the Des Moines Register editorial board endorsed Elizabeth Warren, saying, quote, "She will push an unequal America in the right direction." What influence does the Des Moines Register's endorsement have on Iowa voters?
Well, obviously, the Register's endorsement is different than what I do for news. So there is a pretty strong wall there. But it is something that people watch, not only here, but around the country, because one of the points of the whole Iowa caucus and this first in the nation experience is looking for momentum. And so the Register's editorial board decision helps give Elizabeth Warren that momentum. Now, we'll see whether or not that has any influence. There are so many other factors that go into Iowans' decision, among them how they're doing with the poll, how good they think this candidate will be against Donald Trump, what kind of organizing they've had, how the candidate themselves presents themselves. But I do think for a lot of Iowans and a lot of folks, they do watch the editorial board endorsement.
All right, it is almost here. Rachel Stassen-Berger, thank you so much, Rachel.
Thank you.